Hi, welcome back. I hope you are really excited. On this section here, we're going to be creating the login functionalities of the CMS. It's going to be great. We're going to add a login form right here. We're going to process the form, check the database for users or passwords, and then depending on that result, we're going to either redirect the user to the admin or redirect them back to index page. Now, before we go on, I just want to say congratulations, because if you made it this far, you are different from 95% of the people out there. A lot of people give up and they don't see it through the end. If you see this through the end, you're gonna see the fruit of your hard work, because right now what you're doing is dedicating your time to something that is very valuable and is gonna give you a lot of things in the future. Positive things. Knowledge is power, and web development can change your life. But anyway, let me not keep going about that. I get too poetic. Anyways, so the first thing that we're going to be doing is creating the sidebar here, right? So again, I'm super happy for you that you made it this far, but we got to keep going, right? So let's go to the sidebar. Let's go to the root directory on your CMS. And if you don't know where you are, give me one second. Let me take you back there just to make sure that we are on the same page. All right, so we go to CMS and you're going to be right here on the root. When I say root, this is where you are, and then we go to includes and we're going to go to sidebar. Okay, so let me just take that off since we don't need it. All right, so we're going to go includes sidebar, and here we're going to be building the little login form that we need. All right, and we're going to be doing this by copy and pasting this block search that we already got right here, right? Why write all that code when we have the basic structure right here, the markup? So we're going to call this login, of course. All right, and now we got to do a little couple modifications here because this is going to be a login form, right? And we're going to take people, we haven't built this page yet, but we're going to take them to includes. The login form is going to be inside includes, and it's going to be called login.php, of course. The method is going to be post. Form group is fine. This input we need to change, and we need to change this input to text. That's fine. Search, no. This is going to be the username, and we're probably going to put a placeholder here. Let's just add a placeholder. I'm going to put this form all the way to the left there so that way you can see what I'm doing. So let's put a placeholder. I'm going to do it right after the class right here. Placeholder, and I'm just going to say enter name, enter username. All right, and this is a input group. Input group is too big. All right, so I'm just gonna take this button right here. It's a search, so I'm just gonna take that out. All right, and let's see how that looks right now. Let's go to the front of the site. Let's refresh it, and we see that we have this block search. We got to change the title, and we need to change a couple things of this input there just to make it look nice. All right, so remember that all these classes, this is a framework that I'm using called Bootstrap, and I have another course on that, on Bootstrap, which shows you how to make responsive websites and applications very easily with this framework. All right, but we already have the framework installed, so we just got to make some of this work. So we have this input here. Let's do another input group. All right, let's save that. Let's call this login. All right, so this type is going to be password. All right, password, and name is going to be password too. Placeholder is going to be password, enter password. All right, so let's check that out. Let's see how it looks. And we need to change the input group. We need to give this whole thing a form group. That's the whole reason why this is actually not looking good, because it has something called input group, and we don't need an input group right here. All right, but anyway, let's go back and check on this. See how it looks. All right, it started to look a little better now, but we still need to work it really good. All right, so now that we have this, what we need to do is add, I'm going to change this input group to form group right here, this class, and let's see how that looks now. Refresh. Now that extends all the way across. Okay, that's what we want here on this one. All right, the one below we're gonna do a little something a little different there, but right now on top, let's just leave it like that. All right, so on this one here, I'm just gonna make this a little smaller so that I can work with it. Here we're gonna add a couple of things. I don't want you to get too lost on what I'm gonna do. All right, because it might look a little bit advanced for you, but it's not. It's just a little framework that I use, and all you have to do is just basically copy what I'm doing right now. All right, so we're gonna be adding a spam right here inside this one. All right, and this spam, we're going to be adding a class of, I'll show you right now, class of input group btn. All right, we're gonna be, what we want to do is we want to create a button right here on the right side that is going to be stuck to this field right here. All right, and again, this is using a framework. All right, so now that we have that, we need to create a button right here, and of course we need to put a couple things on the button. First, we need to give the button a class, so to make it look good. A couple classes actually. So BTM and then BTM primary. All right, then we need to give a little attribute because we need to know that we need to receive this somewhere else. So we're going to give it an attribute of the name attribute. We're going to give it a value of login. All right, and this is going to be a type submit. Make sure you put that type in there. Make sure that we know it's a button there, right? All right, so that's all we got to do for this one here. And that's it. That's about it. That's what we need for this. And a little spam right here. Now let's do another spam, and let's give this a class of, actually let's not give it any class. Let's just say code submit. Submit, that's fine. I think we're good to go. We are golden. Let's see how that looks now. All right, refresh. Perfect. Look at that. Looking good, right? And we just did that with this framework. And now if you wanted to do that via CSS, doing it yourself, you know that takes a long time. All right, we did this like within 1 or 2 minutes, right? All right, perfect. So now we have the form here, and we are sending it to the include. So when we click on it, let's just check it out. Click on it. It sends us to include login.php. So we are done creating the form in front of the site. On the next lecture, we're gonna be continuing this and creating the rest of the form that we need to process some of this PHP that's gonna come, some of these values that are going through this form right here. Right? So anyway, thank you so much for watching this lecture, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.